What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Rhoda this week. Are you ready for the Ultra Contrarian Show? Week 1 NFL. The world's best DFS lineup last year were on this show. Now, there's no way I'm going to be able to duplicate that again because that greatness was I can't even explain it. It was just something. I hit a great stride, and all of my cash game lineups that I gave out last year hit. And you know what? I do take edges of all those lineups, all the way up from week 1 to the Super Bowl, only having like 4 or 5 of those hit, and maybe like 4 or 5 on FanDuel, and then maybe like 3 or 4 on DraftKings. When you take all those weeks and you think about how much money you could have won, here's the other point. Outside of that, there was 4 or 5 weeks, I gotta say, I definitely know 4 weeks that I had nuclear lineups with this. And I'm talking top 1% lineups that were almost taking slates down and losing slates by a point or a half a point, literally over 200 points. And that's what we do. That's what I strive for with the Ultra Contrarian lineup. I used to not be a full lineup, but I'm going to say it with my chest and bring the pain because that's what I do. Let's get to it because I know you're here for the Ultra Contrarian lineup. So let's go. Ooh, yeah. Right? Quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Look, I'm all in on Baker. They're literally going to stomp the bottom right. Yeah, they're going to roll right through Washington. There ain't nothing left on Washington's defense. Nothing left. Like Rashad White, if you were overlooking Rashad White, I don't know what to do. But he is not in my lineups, but maybe he is in my lineup. Guess you'll have to wait to the end of the show when you get my Ultra Contrarian lineups for both sites, both FanDuel and DraftKings. Let's get to it. Baker Mayfield is 5,600 on DraftKings, 7,200 on FanDuel. Now on DraftKings, he's a steal. But on FanDuel, he's a little more expensive. I mean, Stafford's 73, and then you have Goff at 74, 75. So you're right there. When I get to my lineups, I'll explain what I was thinking and little things. So normally, when I do the Ultra Contrarian lineup, it's usually the same lineup on both sites, and I could get that. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this one. So the FanDuel lineup is going to be a little different than this week than the DraftKings lineup. And this is more so what I'm giving you right now is the DraftKings lineup. Jonathan Taylor. I'm not even going to deny it. 7,800 on DraftKings, 8,600 on FanDuel. I'll pay up, man. Divisional game, Houston. Houston's got a good, solid defense, but they got a little weak in the middle when they lost Collins, but that's okay. They got a solid defense, but that doesn't mean that Jonathan Taylor ain't going to run through them. And the last time that they played in Indianapolis in the regular season, the Colts ran 59% of their plays were runs. So, and when they're just, and last year at home, the Colts ran about a 49% with runs. So you're looking at a lot of running in this game. And of course, some of that can come from Anthony Richardson. But when you got a back like Jonathan Taylor, I'm not saying he needs 30 carries. Please, let's not wear him out in the leagues that I have him. Man, give that man like 20, 22, maybe 4 or 5 targets out the backfield. Give me 3 catches. Let's go, Jonathan Taylor. You're one of my favorite players. Yeah. I ain't even a Colts fan. Another running back. Bam. It's the macho pick of the week. It's Kenneth Walker. 6,100 on DraftKings. Oh, man. I mean, that's cheap. That's real cheap for a running back that's going to get the ball a lot. 7,400 on FanDuel. Definitely a safe play, but he's going to get that work. And if this game gets out of hand and he keeps getting it and goes over 100 yards, you're getting the new bonus multipliers on FanDuel with that. You're just going to score points. That's what it's all about. Let's move along. Since this is more of a Tampa Bay stack, I'm just going to run them both. It's Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Both are the wide receivers to start this. Evans, 7,300 on DraftKings, and he is 7,900 on FanDuel. He's around some other people on FanDuel, right? Godwin, 5,800. I mean, 5,800 on DraftKings. That is insane. Insane for somebody who could get 10 to 12 targets in this game and catch anywhere from 7 to 8, 9 balls, go 80, 90 yards, maybe a touchdown. Maybe he breaks one and goes 160 touchdown with 8 catches. I don't even know, but I know that he's going to get the ball and that Baker Mayfield wants to show that he just wasn't a fluke last year. He deserves to be on this team, the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Bucks. As for you, Steve Rich, you listen to this. Yeah. Woo. Anyway, let's get to it. And his FanDuel price is 56. It's even less. He is a steal on FanDuel. Literally a free square on FanDuel. You remember that free square term I talked about last year? Yeah, I give those out a lot, and I make sure I always identify them for you. Yeah. Woo. All right. Who's your next receiver he'd override? It's nothing than Terry McLaurin, man. It's the game stack, right? Again, McLaurin, 5,600 on DraftKings and 5,400 on FanDuel. Man, I just know how to find all the talent, the great talent at that price to get the superstars in. That's what I do, right? So, boom. Let's move it over to Flex. The Flex is going to be Zach Moss. I know y'all hate him. 5,800. I don't care. I'll pay that all day for somebody who's about to trounce the Patriots. And I know Chase Brown's going to trounce as well, too. Heck, this could be one of those games you would want to start Chase Brown and Zach Moss on the same time. You know what? I wouldn't even be scared. I would throw in Mostert, too, because ain't no one playing Mostert. But I will tell you that, man. You stack those guys in this game, they just keep running because they both have something to prove. Again, for Moss, this is like a contract year. So you have to understand that when you're looking at all this and somebody has to play for their spot and they have this super awesome stud running back behind him in Chase Brown, then you know he's got to get up. And he performed last year for the Colts in behind Jonathan Taylor. He stepped aside for Taylor while Taylor was getting back in the groove. He filled in and he stole a lot of points and carries for me sometimes. I was getting salty. But hey, he's going to help us win some money tomorrow. And let's move along. Tight end. So, Kylan Granson for the Colts. He is 2,900. You know I always love my 2,900, 2,800, 2,500, $3,000 tight ends on DraftKings. And I'll say Hayden Hurst is on there at 3,000. So definitely want to check it. But on FanDuel, he is 4,700. However, on FanDuel, because FanDuel decided to put in the Sunday night game now, and that's the full slate. We got to go all day with football now. That's fine. Let's do it like baseball then, right? So Parkinson for the Rams, tight end, same price, same story, same deal. I will pay for that at any moment, man. And Sanders for the Carolina Panthers. Now that Thomas has been ruled out, that gives him even more of an open way to the tight end and getting a few catches. Because, if this game most likely going to get out of hand unless Carolina got something to prove. Bryce Young going to step up and finally show why he was that pick last year. Well, then Bryce Young, you're going to have to pass the ball. You have to pass the Thielen. You have to. But if this game gets into garbage time, you could definitely catch that Sanders is going to get a few of those balls. But however, I'm fine with either going with Granson or Parkinson on FanDuel. You can go either way. It's the same price. It's whoever you want. But I kind of like that lay hitter. I'll talk a little bit about that when I get over to the FanDuel lineup for the Ultra Contrarian lineup. All right, defense. I don't care what you say. The Raiders, man. Raiders. They got Collins. I mean, they got Max Crosby. They got a solid defense. They got Hobbs, man. They have a good team, and nobody's picking them. And that's what's going to really help out the Raiders. Plus, that price, I've always said this for years. You know how you can always tell a good price on a defense? They're 2,800 on DraftKings. Just go check my tape. Go check the pass. Go check the stats, whatever you want to do. I ain't a stat guy. I'm just a notice and remember it guy. Yeah. Woo. All right. When you go over to FanDuel, though, the Raiders are 3,800. So you also have the Giants at that disposal on FanDuel, which is a little cheaper. And that does help out. They're right there at that same level, same price. So you're good, right? But I got another defense. The Falcons defense will save you some money. That will help with the FanDuel lineup, which way you want to go with that Sunday night game, because it's going to have some Sunday night players in it. All right, let's hit it. This is what you're here for. You waited for the ultra contrarian lineups. This is your DraftKings lineup. Mayfield, Walker, Taylor, McLaren, Evans, Godwin, Granson, Moss, Raiders defense. Dang, let's cash, right? FanDuel, let's get wild. Mayfield, Walker, Taylor, Evans, Godwin, Cooper Kupp, Parkinson, Rashad White, and the Raiders defense. Now, let me tell you something. You take that, you got $100 left over on this lineup, right? So you can come off of Rashad White, right? And you can move up to Kyron Williams. But man, if you're going to go to Kyron Williams, then you're going to need to come off that defense, go to Atlanta's defense, which right now, if Russell Wilson ain't going to play, Justin Field comes in. Now, he can run the ball, but that will free up $300 more, and that will get you not only Jared Goff, but will also get you Matt Stafford. Pick and choose what you want to do. So when I take this lineup right here and I talk about it and I think about it, so when I say Kupp and you got Godwin and you got Evans and you got those players, so you can sub out Mayfield and Rashad White in the Raiders defense with this lineup for the Falcons defense, Kyron Williams and Goff or Matt Stafford. It's whatever way you want. It's whatever stack you want. And you can definitely get some Amon-Ra St. Brown in here if you want to move a few more numbers. That's the lineup. That's going to be how we're going to cash this week. Have a great day, everybody. Always remember to bring the pain on the contrarian side of things. Yeah, may the points be with you. Happy football, everybody.